Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the inner workings of giant corporations. Today we're diving into Satellogic Incorporated's proxy statement, and let me tell you, this is where the real behind-the-scenes action is revealed, especially when it comes to who's calling the shots and how they're getting paid. So, what exactly is a proxy statement? Think of it as the company's annual report card on its leadership and its plans for the future, all sent out to shareholders before the big annual meeting where votes are cast. It is packed with information about director elections, executive pay, and all sorts of important company decisions. First up, Satellogic Inc. is holding its annual meeting of stockholders on the 8th of December, 2025. This is where shareholders get to vote on critical matters. The company is asking for your vote on electing 3 directors, ratifying their choice of auditors, and approving an updated incentive compensation plan. They are also looking to elect some key folks to their board. For the Class I director positions, they've nominated Ted Wang, Stephen T. Mnuchin, and Joseph Dunford. These individuals are being put forward for 3-year terms, aiming to guide the company through the next phase of its journey. Take Ted Wang, for example. He's a partner at a venture capital firm and has a background as a top technology lawyer. His experience with successful tech companies like Facebook and Twitter could bring valuable insights to Satellogic. Then Stephen T. Mnuchin, former Secretary of the Treasury. His financial expertise, especially from his time leading the US Treasury and his background at Goldman Sachs, could be a massive asset for navigating complex financial markets. And General Joseph Dunford Jr., former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. His leadership experience at the highest levels of the military likely brings a unique perspective on strategic planning and risk management. The company operates with a classified board, meaning directors are elected for staggered 3-year terms. This structure is designed to ensure continuity and stability in leadership. They also have a clear separation between the chairman of the board role and the chief executive officer position, which is a governance practice many investors look for. Now, let's talk about independence. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange requires a majority of the board to be independent. Satellogic states that Ted Wang, Kelly J. Kennedy, Peter Thomas Kilalia, and Miguel Gutierrez meet these independence standards. This is important because independent directors are expected to provide more objective oversight, free from the company's management. One of the key committees is the Audit Committee. They are responsible for overseeing the company's financial reporting, internal controls, and relationships with external auditors. Kelly Kennedy is the chair of this committee, supported by Ted Wang and Peter Thomas Kilalia. This team plays a crucial role in ensuring financial transparency and integrity. Speaking of auditors, the company is asking stockholders to ratify the appointment of Ernst & Young LLP, or A, as their independent registered public accounting firm for 2025. This is a pretty standard proposal, but it's often a good indicator of how well the company has worked with its auditors, looking at their fees. Satellogic paid $1,219,000 for audit fees in 2024. This isn't a massive number for a company of this size, suggesting they are not overspending on audit services. Now, this next part is always interesting: executive compensation, specifically the incentive compensation plan. Satellogic is proposing to increase the number of shares available for issuance under its incentive plan. This means more stock options and other equity awards can be granted to employees and executives. They want to add over 4.2 million shares to the current plan, bringing the total available shares to over 12.7 million. The company argues this is necessary to attract and retain top talent, which is understandable. However, it also means potential dilution for existing shareholders. Their annualized burn rate, which is how quickly they use up shares for awards, has averaged 2.83% over the last 3 years. This isn't overly aggressive, but it does show a consistent use of equity compensation. If shareholders approve the increase, the overhang, which is basically the potential dilution from outstanding and available equity awards, will go from about 5.99% to 9.37%. This is a noticeable increase in potential dilution, so shareholders will want to keep a close eye on how these new shares are awarded. Let's look at the actual pay for the top brass for 2024. Emiliano Kargieman, the Chief Executive Officer, received a total compensation of $477,841. Rick Dunn, the Chief Financial Officer, earned $1,132,550, which included a significant one-time incentive payment of $250,000 triggered by certain financial transactions. Matt Turman, the president, also had a solid year, with total compensation of $843,054. The compensation structures also detail what happens if executives leave or if the company is sold. For instance, if Mr. Dunn is terminated without cause in connection with a change of control, he could see full acceleration of all his outstanding stock options and restricted stock units. This is fairly standard in executive contracts. designed to incentivize executives to stay through potentially turbulent times. Now, who actually owns a piece of this company? The table of principal stockholders shows some big players. Liberty Strategic Capital, for instance, holds a significant stake of 42.5 million shares, making them a major shareholder. Cantor Fitzgerald LP and Pitanga Invest Limited also have substantial holdings. It is always good to see who has skin in the game, and how much. When we look at the ownership by directors and executive officers, Stephen T. Mnuchin stands out with 42.5 million shares, aligning with Liberty Strategic Capital's holdings. Emiliano Cardiman controls almost all of the Class B common stock, which is typical for a founder, and holds a significant number of Class A shares as well. It's a good sign when the leadership team and major investors have a vested interest in the company's success, as it suggests their interests are aligned with other shareholders. Overall, Satellogic Incorporated's proxy statement reveals a company navigating the complexities of corporate governance and executive compensation. They are seeking shareholder approval for a new incentive plan that could increase dilution, but they argue it's crucial for attracting and retaining talent. The leadership team and major shareholders appear to have significant stakes, which generally points to aligned interests. Looking at the figures, the compensation for top executives seems reasonable given their roles and responsibilities, especially with the incentive structures in place. The increase in authorized shares for the incentive plan is the main point of attention for shareholders. While it can fuel growth by attracting talent, it's very important for the company to manage this dilution carefully and ensure that the equity granted is tied to performance that truly benefits all shareholders in the long run. What do you think about Satellogic's plans and their executive compensation? Do you think the increase in stock for their incentive plan is justified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for even more insights and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.